Welcome to Kweshunga. How have you been? Oh my goodness, I am so excited. My name is Penelope and I am your host once again. Welcome to this week's dose of Kweshunga. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. We are so excited. Thank you. For those of you who have not yet subscribed, just go and click the button and subscribe and like our pages, and do not miss out on this amazing fun that is happening all around the world in Mweshungo. So we have been talking about so many things, but in our last episode last week, we discussed spaces, and we specifically talked about interior design and interior spaces. How do we come up with good spaces? How do we think through spaces? How do we come up with the good things that we have around us? And this time, since we are still talking about spaces, I am so excited to bring to you someone who not only creates magic in space, but also creates magic on people. What she does is she works with brides to make them super dope for their big day, but she also creates beautiful spaces for them to enjoy their functions. Imagine that, like you have a 2-in-1 package, over 3-in-1, over 4-in-1. I think it's like the whole thing. I don't even want to spoil her profile. I will just welcome our guest for this week, who's going to tell us a bit about what she does, but also usher us into the space of creating environments and making people look good for their amazing occasions. Welcome with me, Ephrance. You're very welcome, Ephy. Hi. Thank you for joining Kweshunga.
I'm glad to be here.
I am so happy to have you. So I said many things about the things that you do, but I never really quite said the specifics. So just for the people who are watching us, who are you? What is it you do? What is this magic you perform? How do you perform it? Let us in on what it is that you do.
I'm called Nsalasatta Ephrance Mrs Musinguzi, aka Ephy, because mainly most people know me as that.
Ephy, yes.
So that's me. A director of Haiba events. Also director E-Bridals. So it's a 2-in-1 because I love weddings. I love making beautiful spaces. I love creating, but most especially I love making memories with every different kind of person as they come. And yeah, basically that's it. Everything around bridal, everything around events, I will do. And anything around changing what's around us, I love.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. You said you love weddings. I also love weddings, like really love weddings. Not for the tying of the knot, but the feeling that I get when I walk into a wedding reception or a wedding venue, and there are all these beautiful things, there are small details. Those are things that really make me happy. I believe that spaces and environments that we create have an effect on how we think, how we do things, how we react to certain things. Have you always wanted to do this? Have you, when you were starting this, is it something that you would say, I have dreamt about this since I was a child, or did it just happen to you?
With the events company, I'll start from where we began. My thought came when I was actually getting married. So it was like, but I'm looking around all over the place for things and what I want, and then those little tiny details. And I was like, no, I think let me be my first own client. And I see how it goes and how the business runs and how to outsource this and that and that. So that's when this all started. But all in all, the background of it was, I want to see something beautiful being made. I'd want to see weddings. You see it on the TV and you're seeing every person getting married. It's a moment. It's a memory. But my wedding, I sat down. My first client was me, but also the funding came from my husband. So I was like, yes, so pay me for my work. So that the money just...
but you're a very wise
woman.
woman.
Why not?
You're getting paid, you're creating your own
creating my own
beauty, the
beauty.
things that you want. Nice.
When you look at it today, it's not what you actually want to get married again, because what I see now is overwhelming. But I'll keep it simple, subtle, and natural. We have diverted from the fact that we are leaving the natural beauty and heading into the artificial kind of thing, you know?
I've seen weddings that have, someone was telling me their wedding, their deco for, the wedding budget, the deco is about 100 million. And I was thinking, okay, are they going to bring gold chairs, gold plates? Are we eating gold food? And it's just deco. You talked about something to do with subtle, simple, and natural. What goes on in your mind when you're creating a space for a bride or for a couple for their wedding?
Actually, yes, for me, I want to know what the bride wants. What do you want? What does your husband want? When you walk into your wedding space that day, would you love what you see? Do you want a natural effect? How do you want your lighting to look like? What kinds of flowers are we looking at? Because we have very different kinds of flowers. I might look at roses, and you'd want something different. You want coral, you want lilies. So it all depends on what you want. Everything is a detail. Even that most tiny, simple ribbon is a detail in the function. So it all depends on what a client would like. And then we discuss and then get ideas together, create your space.
So what do you do for clients like Penny who sometimes don't know what they want, or they know too much of what they want, they are failing to decide?
Basically, like, I know you'd want something. At least there's a color you love. Yes, there's some color you love. I know there's color. You know your best color. So get your color. Let's look at what the patterns, what kind of flowers would you like. There are those who don't want flowers, actually, and they just want the normal rocky kind of deco. We're looking at wood. We're looking at just maybe a candlelight, because candle is also an effect, especially for the dinner kind of setup weddings. Yeah, you might not want flowers. Water is enough.
So lately, one of the things that most of my peers are talking about is the fear to get married because weddings are expensive. And yes, it's true. They're thinking about, we are going to do a kuchala, and that's a whole big thing. These days people bring, I don't know, heaven on earth for kuchala. Then you're thinking, okay, what's going to happen at the introduction? Then they do the introduction and you're thinking, geez, they have brought the whole world. So what's going to happen at the wedding? And then, so people are afraid to commit and get into these ceremonies because we think that you need a lot of money. I need like 200 million to get married. Is that the case? Have you had to do events for low cost or low budget people, clients, or is it possible to pull off a wedding on a low budget?
It's definitely possible, depending on what you want. The problem we find is a bride coming to you and they want a simple wedding but flamboyant. I don't know if you get that too. You want something. You want to pay less. Yes, but you want something that is, So that's where
what happened at Ephy's wedding. That's exactly what I want. I don't know how much she paid, but that's what I want.
That's what I want. That's the problem. You want that budget, but you actually can't get to that budget. What I would advise is don't look at what happened at the other function. Look at you. Look at your pocket. Work with your budget. Because you can pull it off. Yeah? You don't have to go ahead and please. I have this saying that marriage, love is blind, but marriage is an eye-opener. You will do a wedding of 200 million, but at the end of the day, you're getting after the marriage in just 2 days. Yeah. So
tomorrow you have no rent.
So you have to live within your budget, work with your budget, and then let everything flow. It's the other one than a kuchala of 10 million. You can't still do a kuchala in the house, and it will come out beautiful.
And that's what they used to do.
Yes. Actually, that is the norm.
That's the actual tradition. Interesting.
Just because society has changed everything.
Trends.
Yeah, we like copying and pasting. Now that's also another problem in Uganda. Copy and paste. But come up with your own idea. Come up with different things. Come up with different themes. Yeah, you don't have to do what the other person has done. Sit with your decorator, sit with your events planner, come up with a budget. If your budget is 25, you can go a little above what you have come with. But I know you can stick to that. Look for a venue together. Actually, the only issue we have with Ugandans, they want to do everything. Because I have an auntie who does decor, I will have to do, kati nino muwa banange, you know, that kind of thing. But I'm thinking with me, events planners are there. Sit with them, give them a budget. We have 25 million. Let's go look for space. Let's work with the space that is within that budget and let's make it beautiful. Even if I'm the events planner and I do the decor, I will find someone who will fit in that budget and will do that for you. It doesn't have to be me. You get? So I'm thinking we can work like that.
Interesting. So you said you run E-Bridals, and I presume that helps with gowns, accessories, and everything to do with the bride. How do you help people choose gowns? How do I know this is the perfect gown for my body shape? Because you see, some of us watched Cinderella growing up, and we have in our minds that I must wear a Cinderella dress for me to have a beautiful wedding. So how do you help a client find the perfect dress? I watched this show, Say Yes to the Dress, and I see people struggle because you come with this thing in mind, this is what I want, and then you try it, and then it's not it, then you try this, then you try this. So yeah, if I came to E-Bridals and I don't know, like, how do you help me discover that this is what's for my body? First of all, I don't even know what my body shape is or my body type is. So from body type to the right bra to wear at my wedding to what jewelry, what kind of, some people have this thing of I have to wear the queen's crown. That's what I want. Whether my head is big or small or shaped how, I want that crown. How do you deal with such clients, and how do you help people discover their bodies, but also find the perfect outfit for their ceremonies?
With Ugandans today, I've just got into the bridal business. Let's talk, it's like for 6 months now. What I've learned is most people want to come into a show. Others don't want. Others want pictures, which is a problem. I'm not going to send you a picture when I've not looked at how you look like. So you come to me, or I'll give you a call, or you give me a call, and I'll say, kindly visit. Let's look at what you want. You tell me what you want, and I will give you what you want at that moment. But then I will also analyze, does this look good on you? By the time, actually I have this thing, by the time I look at you and I pick a dress, you've given me the time to pick a dress for you, I know that's the dress. Because you look at yourself in the mirror and then you say, this is what I like. And then we have people that come in with a crowd of 10 or 4 people.
All your best friends have to choose for you.
I actually disagree with that. To me, as Ephy, I would say, kindly move in with your mom and your matron. Because they are the best 2 people to me. You're not going to come with a crowd. Everyone has their own tastes and preferences. And your mom knows how you look like in the dress. And besides, at that point in time, I look at it as, this is a day she'd love to look at you and enjoy and feel you, see you walk down the aisle, decent, looking pretty, and she knows she's blessed for that day. The rest comes later. But we have this thing of ladies coming in and they have a group of...
So you can't decide because
and
everyone has
someone
an
stands and
opinion.
says, do I look wow? And you've tried on 5 dresses and you don't know what you want. You've gone to 10 bridal shops and you don't know what you want. Why? Because you actually don't know what you want yet. You've not felt the dress. So you have to still go back. I tell my brides, if you want to work with me, go home, kindly pray about it. Before you pay. It's not about paying the money. I want to work with you when you're really excited to work with me, because I go far beyond a dress. You know? I want to prepare my brides because I am married. I know what is there. So I would love to prepare you, wear your dress, but also package you for that dress. You know? Enjoy your day. In style. And also we work together, smiling, because Even if I'm dressing you up, I'm creating a long-time relationship.
Yes.
I don't know where you'll be tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that I only do dresses, I do catering. Tomorrow, you might want me to do something for you, cook for your wedding, for your son's wedding, or your baptism or something. So we create relationships. All that we do is service, but service creates relationships. At the end of the day, if I don't satisfy, it's going to be a problem.
I like how you put it, and I think I'm already in love with E-Bridals, because when you say we create relationships, it ties in so much with the theme of Kweshunga, because Kweshunga is about relationships, really. And I know that you can't create spaces, you can't create certain environments for people you're not connected with. If I'm not connecting with the bride, she's not going to like that dress. If she's having a bad vibe around how the space I am in is, she's not going to be happy with it. As I create a set for you, maybe I'm doing decor and I'm setting up the venue, I need to create that environment and paint a picture that brings warmth and love and relationship. But I also love dearly that you pray for your brides and that you ask them to pray, because I think we take for granted sometimes that things don't just happen. They don't. There are no accidents. Things are predetermined, they are preconceived, and when we commit them to God, I guess that's why you're able to have people coming back to you, because you pray for them, you pray over them. So I was a bride once when I was a kid. I played mommy and daddy, and we did the bagole. We did the bagole thing. We tied tins and did cars and all those things. And I always dreamt that I would work in the decor industry or in the events industry, because I like to create things like that. I like to create things like that. Just share with me how you feel when maybe someone says yes to the dress, or when your mugole or your couple client walks into a venue and they smile. When you just watch their faces, what's going on inside you? What's happening with you? Because it's about them, but it's also entirely about you. You're the one who has created.
I would look at it like, yes, it's excitement at the first look at your bride, and they're like, yes, and they're dancing, and they're happy and all that.
Yeah, like Ephy.
Yes, but also when you don't have a team that gets you what you want, you will never make it. Because I have been in a place where I have not delivered. Yes, and these are lessons. Everything comes with a lesson. Yes. So I have learned that I have to create a team that is dedicated and loves what they do. When you don't love what you do, you will not deliver. You will just do it for the sake of making the money. Yes, in Uganda, yes, it's about making the money, but you have to love what you do. I will sleep out and say, she has paid her money. Yes, I will sleep out for her, because I want to create something that is a lasting impression. I have brides that I chat with till today. I have clients that I chat with today, people that I didn't think that I would meet. And I have met these people, and they became friends. And I was like, okay, I never knew in life that I would meet this kind of person, or this person owns this place, and I didn't know that I would meet this person. But on a daily, they're like, whoa, hi, how are you? You okay? And you keep that relationship going. I have families that I work with, and when they see, Ephy, today we have failed, I'm like, it's okay. I know you will come back, because this time around our budget is not right. They're like, okay. But still they come back and they know, wait, Ephy has a bridal shop, and they'll come, maybe pick a flower girl's dress. That 100,000, 150 or 80,000,
it grows the business.
Grows the business, but also keeps that bond. Because I did something once and I was satisfied, my client was satisfied, and it gave me, it gave me the results. So till today, I keep moving with a family. Because these families are getting married, their children will get married, they will have baptisms, we will have birthdays, and the story continues.
I like that all your things are centered around relationships. So let's talk about relationships a little bit. Let's talk about your relationship with yourself. I mean, you don't just wake up looking this good. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes falling in love with yourself. But just for the people watching us or listening to us, how do you do it? How do you do all these things? How do you balance your marriage, your relationship with your husband, your relationship with your relatives, your relationship with work and your team? And how do you do all these things? Because already events business is hectic as it is. Where do you find the time to still be a great mom, to be a great wife, to be a great sister and friend to the people around you? How do you do it?
You have to value what you have. Because if you take things for granted, they will too. Will take you for granted. You have to value what you have. First, I'll start from my home. These are my siblings, my mom, my dad. We will have to keep a daily communication on a daily. There have to be a chat, something we laugh about. Yes, we will always have these cool, you know, but at the end of the day, this is my family and I have to make sure we keep the bond, you know. Communication is key in every relationship, no matter what it is. Communication is key. So I will have to keep in touch. Thank God for WhatsApp, which is, some people call it, now Zoom, but some call it a necessary evil, you know. But with it, we have learned also to keep in touch with others. It's not easy to make a call, but that hi, how are you? Are you okay? The groups that we create keep us in touch with together. They keep us in touch. Then I'll come to my household as well. It's a daily routine. We have to see each other every day. You have to wake up to the same people every day, but also you have to create new things around you. My relationship with my children, they know I'm a tough mom, and that is it. I don't deal with some things. They know what they have to do at what time. If I say something, it has to go. Of course, you know what children, sometimes you have to let them be children, but I would want them to remember me for something. But yes, mommy was tough, but at the end of the day, she helped me build this relationship. We built this together. We travel together. We have meals together. We watch TV together. If we have had one,
I've seen your TikToks with your kids, so you play together as a family as well.
If I have had one problem with one, we will all sit and they will know that, okay, this happened, and this is not done the right way. So I am the tough mom. My husband, it is also, I think, the same thing. We'll have to wake up. Now we have to wake up and pray together. Things adjust with time. You have to wake up, pray together. I have to make sure, no matter what it is, because it's not that every day you're going to wake up with a smile from one ear to another. I have to make sure I have taken care of him before I do anything else, before I leave my house. I have to make sure he has had his breakfast, he's planned well for his day, and then I'll see him off. So I can't leave the house. Basically, sometimes I can't leave the house before he has left. But the main thing is, are we fine before we leave home? Because when you leave home,
and you're coming back to the same home later, and there's still tension.
What is going on here? So you have to try. So during the day, you have just to check in, see how he's doing. If he's stressed with his day, then you understand something. So that at the end of the day, we have a conversation to have in the evening. Then we sit home as family. Recently, I'll give an example of when we were together during the day. I had gone for a drip, and then apparently he hadn't noticed. So the kids noticed. So we told him, so you will come home and mommy's leg is off and you will not know. But no. So these are things. Sometimes we have to sometimes, the kids help us get to understand these things about ourselves. He's not a good communicator, but we try. And yes, we thank God for keeping us till today. With work, it's my team. My team, I also put it as family. I take it as a relationship. I have to grow and mend.
Yeah.
You get, because if your team doesn't feel you or doesn't want to work with you, it's your downfall. Actually, I can be home and I know I'm safe because I have a team that I believe in and loves what they do and loves my business as well. You get, and love what they do. So I like that. I love the fact that, yes, oh, madam is not around. Okay, let me chip in here. There is something about my team that when you're not around and they can't get hold of you, a person to pick even 20,000 shillings and say, let me buy this, to me that is, it's
deep, because they're getting from their money. Someone would say, I'm not the boss, it's not my business, it's Ephy's, let me wait for her to return.
It's not that they earn a lot, but they love what they do. That keeps me going. I know I have a team that believes in me and what we are doing. You get? So it's always a bond. You know, like when I'm not around, I know things will be done.
Yeah.
Even if I'm far, even if I'm near, it will be done. Yeah. So it keeps those lasting relationships. Because tomorrow, I don't know where I'll be. I have daughters that I'm raising. I have sons that I'm raising. Everyone around us helps us groom these children to become what they are today. Yeah.
Nice, nice. I really like your life. It seems like a well-grounded, well-balanced life, but it also sounds like a life that requires a lot of attention and intentionality, because you can't do the things that you do and not do them intentionally. And it goes a long way to the way you're creating, because you're creating time, you're creating space for relationships, you're creating all these moments and memories for the children, for yourselves, for your brides, for your, hey, you're just really in the business of creating. And I know that you don't only do brides and you know, weddings. You also do corporate events. You've done some corporate events. At least you've done some work for Farmfort, where I work, and I've seen your work. So tell us a bit about how you handle corporate spaces, because there's a thing about handling an event, which is a wedding. It's casual, it's elegant, it's luxury, it's all these things that people want. But then you're in a corporate space, maybe an SSF, and you're creating an end of year bash, or you're doing gift hampers, or how does that work? How do you manage to wear different hats at different times in how you create space?
Normally with corporate functions, it's always them that come up with a theme. Then you have to create the theme for them. They get their own venue, and then you have to create what they want. It is what they want that counts. You can tap into their idea and say, okay, let's change or make a twist somewhere. But it is what they want. They will come up with a theme. Maybe today we will do masks, or we shall do what should I, pop of color, or something. So you have to create what that theme entails into what they want.
So you don't get to play so much with the corporate events as much as you do with the weddings and traditional functions.
No, because sometimes they'll say we want black and white tie, or we want to do clowns. So you create a clown theme environment, and then they'll come wearing clown dress codes, and that's it. Really, it's not really much, but that is it with the corporate world. It's detail time, and they have their own thing and how they want to play with it. So you just have to create that.
Interesting, because I think I'm as one of your clients, I'm one of the people who just says, let's take the seriousness out of corporate and let's just do a thing. Because I've asked you sometimes to do like a wedding theme at an office, because I hate that tension. I don't like to feel like I'm at work all the time. So sometimes for my meetings, I want for people to walk into a meeting and feel like, yeah, I can relax. We are not sitting on a boardroom table, or, you know, know, and I think that adds value to certain spaces or to certain people in how they communicate and how they loosen up. Before we conclude, do you have something you would like to deeply say to people who are thinking about, you know, doing a ceremony? Whether it be a baptism, like just one piece of advice to anyone out there who's, especially in these hard COVID times, what's the one thing you would say to people out there who are struggling to make up their minds, especially in terms of budget or in terms of finding the right thing or discovering what you want? What would you say to those people for the events? And then there's that bride who's unsure what gown I can wear because everything just doesn't look nice on me. And me, I want, or I haven't tried as much. What would you say to those people?
Actually this time round with the scientific weddings, I think I love the scientific, yes. We hate COVID and what it brought about, but there's something it brought. That intimacy in the wedding industry, in that you are calling 500 people, 1,000 people for a wedding.
And you can't even afford it. You're fundraising.
You're fundraising, but also when you look around you, I have this thing of you have looked around. How many of these people are going to be around you in times when you need a person to hold your hand? You find yourself in space at some point in time, and what you have is your family, your husband or your children, and the few friends that you hold close, and a few of your relatives. So I'm thinking that this COVID time of scientific weddings, the 50 people you brought are close. Work within your means, work within your budget. You don't have to copy and paste what Mrs. who did or Mr. who did. No, you're not impressing anyone. This is one day, but marriage is a lifetime at the end of the day. So me, I'm thinking work within your budget. For that bride who doesn't know what they want, I know you know what you want, but you just can't get it. Either you are not sure, but I hope that you sit down and pray about what you want. Even when you're going for a wedding, pray about it. Pray about that service provider you want to work with you. Pray that they make it on time, because we have seen weddings that have become a mess because the service provider has like 6 people she has to work on. You know, let you have that time with the service provider. Create that moment that you want. Because a wedding dress is a memory. They'll always remember that dress. You can't keep it, but it will always be in your sitting room somewhere or in your albums somewhere. But I know there is always a dress for a bride. There is always something you want as a bride, as a groom. So work within your budget, create that memory, create that time together with that events planner. And everything will be fine.
Live within your means. Do not try to outdo yourself. You know, sometimes people say that weddings are not for us. Weddings are for our parents, because half the time you have like 300 people at your wedding and you don't know 200 of them. You only know 100 who are your real friends, who are your people. But your parents invited Mothers and Fathers Union. They invited that man who fetched water in the village and helped you clean your uniform sometime. They're saying, hey, auntie so-and-so raised you. They took you to school. So yeah, sometimes we are stuck there and you don't know how to even say no to your parents. But I like when you say live within your means and don't overshoot and don't feel bad about things not working out the way Ephy's worked out.
Don't, because you try to be Ephy and you break her leg, or you know, because you don't know where Ephy came from to become the Ephy she is today, or you don't know what Penny went through to be the Penny she is today, or the people she has associated with. So just maybe if you want to know something, you can call on to those people, find out where they are, let them tell you. Because as myself, I didn't tell you, but I started events also with a touch of Charles. There's Charles Wanga. I don't even know if he's still in events. We even
doing events.
I even don't know. But that is how I went to also start doing my wedding. And from my wedding, I did continued like that, which has brought me to catering, which has taken me now to the gowns that I'm into.
And then the saloons.
Now I'm doing the saloons, you know.
Yeah.
So it's quite a brand, it's heavy, but we just have to pray that everything works out for our good. Yes.
And thank you so much for sharing your space with us. Guys, I am going to Kweshunga with gowns today. My body type is going to try on some gowns and we are going to see what suits me. I hope I get a man while I am at it. But anyway, the man will come after the gown has been discovered by E-Bridals. I shall also be your hookup. I shall tell you where to find E-Bridals and E-Events and Haiba events and the e-saloons. So treat me nicely, or you can Kweshunga nicely, and you never know. I might sponsor your gown. Just be nice to us. But yeah, thank you so much, Ephy. Thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing your story with us. And thank you for your love for people, because all the things that you do speak to relationship with people. And through that relationship with people, you've been able to create spaces. You've been able to create amazing decor. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I look at your work and I'm like, okay, yeah. So thank you. Thank you for creating memories for people. Thank you for creating spaces and environments where people thrive and they are happy and they're enjoying their marriages and their spaces of work and everything that they do, because you have had your hand in creating those spaces. So we'll see you next time, and thank you for being on Kweshunga.
Thank you for hosting me.